Hi, I'm so happy to see you here, and I wanted to tell you that it's a huge step to come here. Not everyone has such a courage, and I want to welcome you to our masterclass where we're gonna end up the cycle of almost relationships. I'm Sophie, your host and a coach, and today I want to start with something most women don't hear often. When the same painful situation keeps happening with a different man, different city, under different timings, different circumstances, women usually think the problem is a man. Or they think maybe they're just bad luck. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe he was just emotionally unavailable. Maybe this one just too complicated. But often that is not real problem. The real problem is the strategy. The same pattern keeps happening and producing the same result. And because the faces changes, women think the story changes too. So day one is not about fixing anything. It is about recognition. It's about seeing the pattern clearly enough that you stop calling it chemistry or bad luck or fate or romanticizing it. The problem is usually not male complexity because we all know they aren't so complex. The problem is what I call repeated over participation. A woman gives too much too early and explains too much too early, stays available for too long, and reads attraction as intention. And I want you to take a notebook right now and write it down. Attention is not intention. You see warmth, chemistry, contact, or desire, and you naturally start building meaning around it when the structure itself does not support. So when the results repeat, that is important. Because if the same outcome keeps happening, it is usually no chemistry, it is a structure, system, or a pattern. And that is much more useful thing to understand. Because once you see the pattern, you stop personalizing everything. You stop making every situation feel uniquely tragic. And you start noticing that that is a pattern underneath it, which repeats over and over. And this is look like an ordinary life. Usually not dramatic, very familiar. It looks like being the strong one, chasing clarity, settling for ambiguity, while secretly hoping it will turn into something more. It looks like waiting for a man to guess your needs and calling effort love. And we're gonna add it to our notebook right now. Effort not equal love. So in real life, this is what it sounds like. You can even make screenshot of that. He goes quiet for one evening and you send a long message. He says he is stressed and you become his emotional recovery room. He invites you late with no real effort or plan. And you still say yes because at least he wants to see you. What the hell means at least even? You are the queen. You own the room. You act low maintenance because you don't want to create a pressure on him because he's so fragile, right? And then later you feel hurt that your needs are not being noticed even. And this is where I really want you to slow down right now. These are not random moments. This is a system. You overgive, you feel close, you get less, and then you compensate with more. This is the loop. And underneath that loop, there is usually one very strong belief. If I give more, he will choose more. If I am softer, more patient, more available, more understanding, or more emotional generous, then eventually he will feel my effort, and will reward me with a clarity. But usually, what happens is very different. He receives closeness without the pressure of making any decision. And your flexibility becomes a part of your character for him. He doesn't see it as effort you put in relationships. You can get so consumed but not appreciated. And that is what matters, because women often confuse being used to something with being appreciated. If your fast replies are always there, they stop feeling special. If your emotional labor always there, it becomes normal. And if you always available, it stops feeling like something precious. And that is why so many of you feel invisible after giving so much. And it is not always because you gave the wrong thing. Sometimes it is because you gave it before he committed to you. So this is where we need to name excess properly. You may think excess means only physical intimacy, and that is far too narrow. Excess is your time, attention, energy, responsiveness, loyalty, your willingness to be there before he committed or commitment has been given to you. So what does that look like? It looks like always being available. After work, before work, saying yes to last minute plans, late night calls, full day texting, and etc. And the reason is so confusing is because excess feels intimate. It really does, but often it's simply convenient just for him. And that is the most painful part that no one wants to admit to themselves. And once excess become unlimited, curiosity drops. And when curiosity drops, investment rarely rises. And when I say investment, I mean his effort, his time, planning, and commitment. Now let's look at the structure on how to keep him comfortable. Okay, now I'm serious. It's usually very quiet, not dramatic. First, he gets easy access, conversation, care, reassurances, emotional support, and often intimacy. So from his side, a lot of the benefits of connection are already there. Second, no decision is required because nothing forces him to clarify when closeness is already available. He can keep saying, oh, let's just see where it goes. And that can continue for months and months, if not years, because the bond is already active without him having to invest in it. This block is read to highlight the possibility for you to step back and set the boundary for the clarity. Otherwise, you're stuck in this endless loop. And the third, when he starts giving less, you start giving more. So from the outside, he may look even confused. It's like when you confront him at this point. But the dynamics, not confusing at all. When you start to see it clearly, he's comfortable and you're inside ambiguity. And you're working hard to keep this emotionally alive. And that brings us to the real cost, because this is where situationships drain women the most. You become planner, therapist, cheerleader, girlfriend, in practice, and wife without safety or actual commitment to you. You are doing relationship labor inside a structure that has never really chosen you. So you feel close, but you don't feel secure. There is such an important distinction. Like, you can feel emotionally close to a man and still feel deeply unsafe, unclear, and unchosen, and call it a butterflies in your stomach. But science already proven, that is your nervous system tells you you are in danger. And that is why these dynamics are so exhausting. You are tired because your nervous system is constantly working for survival. You're reading, adjusting, softening, compensating, hoping, and meanwhile, he's very comfortable. Because you are already giving him what he needs. And still, nothing has been defined. That is a real cost. So day one is recognition only. Awareness first. No scripts, no fixing. The point of today is simply to name the pattern, expose the cost, and end this fantasy once and for all. The more effort will somehow create a different outcome, while the structure says the opposite. By the end of today, the thought should be very simple. This is not a bad luck. This is a repeated pattern. And once I really see that, I stop romanticizing this dynamic. You stop calling it just a confusing connection and start asking better questions. Not why he like this, but what exactly am I doing in that keeps killing investment without me even noticing it? And that is what day two is about. So day two is going to be access, participation, and soft power. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I want you to try to identify those patterns, recognize them, and write them down into your notebook. And also expose the cost. What did you lost? What was your effort? So I hope that was helpful for you today. I'll see you tomorrow. Day two is very important, and love you.